it can accept pass by value and pass by reference. Two types of value we can use and pass in the function. In our previous function, we have used a variable to pass by value and a pointer variable to pass by reference. So pointer variable in C, a pointer variable have a definite symbol to represent that a variable is a pointer variable. That is, there is a star symbol to represent a pointer variable, and for almost all the literals that is able to be declared in the C, we can create a pointer to all the literals. Means a variable, object, function, array, everywhere we can assign a pointer, and we are able to reference that particular pointer. In case of Java, also there is these two types of passing of data. One is by the value and one is by the reference. When we pass a value from one function to the another, then a copy of the original is only sent. A copy of the original is only sent, so the memory is not shared. So you can think like a shared memory. When a function passes by value, then only a copy of that data is sent, or a copy of that data is given to the function. Like you can say it's a photocopy of some notes. A photocopy of some notes is like if you share with your friends. So pass by value means only a copy of it, and if someone modify the Xerox, then that is up to that person. When you give your Xerox to some of your friend, then someone modify it or keep it as it is, or give it to some new friends, that is up to that particular person. And whatever you make your change, that is up to you. So whichever changes you make, it's not affected in the other person's record. That kind of pass is called a pass by value. And in a pass by reference, that is when we use in the case of pointer, that means you are there is only one place where your notes is there. Suppose your class copy, and that particular class copy itself you share. That means you are sharing the location where everything of notes is there. And where is your notes? What is the location of your notes? Definitely your notebook, your class book. So instead of doing a Xerox, you are sharing the location of your content. That is, you are sharing the memory address. You are sharing your entire Xerox. So now what happens, if you modify it, your friend get the modified record, and if your friend modify something in your notes, you will see the modified note, something new. So that there's advantages and disadvantages in both the approaches. Let us first understand the symbol. In C, there is a star symbol to represent a pointer, and when we use pass by reference, when we pass a value by address, then we generally use the pointer symbol and the ampersand symbol, that is the AND symbol. If you remember pointer programming in C in some of your previous semester, that is your pass by reference. And in pass by value, only the name of the variable is sufficient. Suppose there is a variable int x, then x, and you give x, that means you are pass by value. And when you give star x or ampersand x or ampersand x or star x, that means you are passing the location address. So two types of data sharing possibility is there in terms of programming, not necessarily in terms of object-oriented programming, not necessarily in terms of class programming, but this kind of message passing is message passing. Okay, this also can be said as message or data sharing is possible in any language. So when you pass data between two section, not only in C++ but in C also, here also, other language also, you can pass by value and pass by reference. So as I said, pass by value is just making a Xerox of photostat and forwarding it to your friend, and both of your record is now separated and from any modification. So if someone modify, you are not affected. And pass by reference is something where when someone makes the changes, you get to see the changes, and when you make the changes, someone also gets to see what the new update is available. So that is sharing the memory location, sharing the content, or sharing your note copy itself, something like that. Means your location you are sharing, the address you are sharing. Now both have its own advantages, both have its own disadvantages. Advantages of pass by value is that you can say it, you can in remote processing it is easy. Suppose you want to share a remote location, then remote data sharing. If you are to do remote data sharing, then it is if you want to do remote data sharing, then it is better to do by pass by value. Then there are sensitive information. If you have sensitive information, then also it is better to pass by value. And if you have LAN connection, broadcast message, suppose there is a message that has to be broadcasted, there is a message that has to be broadcasted. So in networking, in computer networks, generally what happens when you pass a message to more than one person, so, that means you are broadcasting a message. Then if I am broadcasting, suppose I am using this platform, I am broadcasting, then for every receiver I am getting an acknowledgement that yes, the data has been received, and that is the delivery report. When you send a message from your phone, you get a delivery report. So in this kind of a situation, pass by value, that means when we have to share some content, generally the content is replicated and sent forwarded, means the same memory location is not shared, the content is shared and forwarded. And like here in the Cisco WebEx that I am doing, so here what is happening, my screen data is replicated and forwarded to each and every one of you. You are not so it is not the opposite way. Means the pass by value. Pass by value means my content in the screen, whatever I am showing in the screen, my monitor record is made n number of copies, and to each one of you this copy is going to be given. Okay, if you are doing this same using pass by reference concept, then what will happen, whatever the Windows or the Linux, the monitor display section, there is a particular section in the memory, particular section that captures the screen output, that there is a particular section in the OS that captures the screen, what is going on in the screen. Like your suppose when you are using the Android mobile phone, so what is going on in the screen, sometimes your screen can have main menu, sometimes your screen can have the calendar, sometime your Android phone screen can have the WhatsApp, sometime your Facebook. So whenever you touch on the screen, it depends on what application you are opening. If you keep on touching the screen, in the middle of the screen depend upon what application you are using. If you are if you are on the main page of your mobile Android smartphone, then if you touch somewhere, then an app is going to start. Then suppose that app is the WhatsApp. Now in the WhatsApp, if you keep on touching in between, then nothing will happen. Okay, nothing is going to happen. So here what is going on in this, so what I mean to say is, there is a program in the system that keeps the track of what is the display in the screen, what is there in the screen, whether what kind of a button is there in the screen, what kind of application is there in the screen, what kind of a user interface is there in the screen. I'm not saying what is the program running, I'm saying what is there in the screen. Okay, because when you take a screenshot, you get that particular image, no, what is there in the screen. So basically what the computer is taking multiple screenshot, automatic screenshot. Screenshot how you do manually you are doing the screenshot and you can share. Now if I do manually, if after every 1 minute if I do the screenshot and share, then your learning is going to be very slow, it is not going to become useful. But if I can write a program that can take automatic screenshot after in every minute, suppose say 100 screenshot, and every time the screenshot is given to you, and when a new screenshot is coming, your part of the screenshot is deleted and the new screenshot. So my whatever is displayed in the screen in my laptop or in my mobile, if I am able to write a program that can take automatic screenshot and share with all the audience, instead of now if the same Cisco WebEx, if it is doing by manually, suppose like WhatsApp, yesterday the lab program I gave the screenshot, so like that only 1 or 2 or 5 pages I can give the screenshot in 1 minute, and it is not so good and very not interactive. So the computer can take multiple screenshots, not in 100 but thousands. In 1 second the computer automatically will take thousands of screenshots and share the screenshot. That means whatever the screen is there, that will be shared to every one of you. That is passed by Velo, every one of you it will be shared. Someone network problem is there, it may be delay. Someone phone may display may be error, it may be not display properly, but that is sharing something and not allow you to enter my program. That is the pass by reference. Now if the same program, if the same implementation, if suppose is if the same implementation if someone do by pass by reference, then pass by reference means what, with the particular program that is handling my screen layout, means like what is appearance, what is the current appearance of my screen. There is some program in the OS, in your smartphone, in my laptop, or in your laptop, in your smartphone, there is some program that is taking after every few seconds or after every millisecond, it tries to capture what is there in the screen, so that when you touch that particular information, an action can be performed. So when you yes, thank you. Okay, so that's what, when you share, when you are okay, when you are sharing, when you are constantly sharing some information, then if it is a pass by reference, then pass by reference means your access will be allowed into my memory access. Pass by reference, that means all the my memory location where my program is there, this particular screen that you are seeing, there is a program in the background that is handling the layout in the screen. If all the students or if any audience in the system is allowed to access into the memory, that means there is whatever is there in the memory is allowed to be accessed and transmitted back to the particular user. In this example, suppose in the Cisco WebEx platform, so instead of doing a screenshot and sharing to you, if all student app, client app, that means your side of the app, I am the server side of the system, and you are the client side of the system. So if the client is allowed to enter into the server memory, so that means the how a client will be allowed to enter into the server memory by wrong programming. When a server program is written error, when error prone, when the server program is not written properly. So when the server program is not written properly, then what will happen? The server system administrator may give the pointer address to all the client where the program is residing to share content. So it is one of the advantage of this is that a small data is sufficient. That means a address is very small data, maybe 4 byte of information, or a 10 byte of information at the location of a memory. So when the location of a memory is shared, maybe the data will be sent very fast to each and every one of you, the location that may be shared. Now location in the sense not IP address and not your GPS address, memory location, not any other location, the memory location where your program is residing. So if the server allow a client, if the server program is written wrongly, suppose some information you want to share with all the client system, and to share the information, pass by value is the better option. So all the memory content pass by value means a photocopy of all the data will be created and will be shared with all the client, and whatever each client modify, it is up to them, it is up to their use. And if any pointer address is allowed, that means a server allow the client to enter into the memory and do modification. That means what? The memory address is exchanged between you and the server. If that happens, then the program has to be written very carefully, and then whatever the client modify, that is final, you cannot change it. Suppose your marks, your whatever now ERP you are using, so in the ERP most of the content is passed by value, your mark sheet, your this and that, everything is passed by value. You are allowed to access, you are allowed to access, but you are not allowed to enter into the server memory address and modify some content. You are not allowed to modify the content. So pass by value and pass by reference both have the advantages and disadvantages. Pass by value is that when you have to pass by value, large amount of data you have to pass, and advantage is that system is secure. System getting infected, or a wrong program or a virus getting entering into the system because of some unknown person entering into the pointer address of the program, or that danger is less. The pass by value. In pass by reference, the advantage is that only the pointer address is sufficient to share the information. Only the memory location is sufficient to do that. Any program is there, uh, any program is there in the server, then the pointer address is sufficient, and so client enter into the pointer memory address and can uh, do the execution, sometimes it is advantages, sometimes it is disadvantages. If you are an expert programmer, if you know how to handle the system, if you know how to handle the properly the program softwares, then you can share by pass by reference. That means your pointer you can share. So coming back to Java, in C, when we pass by value, we give the variable name, and when we pass by reference, we give a symbol, that is the star symbol or the address symbol. So we can identify that some pass by value is going on and pass by reference is going on. In Java, it is not that case. In Java, pass by value and pass by reference both have only the one syntax, single syntax, that is name of the variable. So there is no symbol to tell that if pass by reference is taking place, pass by value is taking place. So when we pass a value from one function to other, always it is just the name of the variable, always it is just the name of the variable. And so there is a confusion there, how to identify and how to correct it if any mistake is going to happen. So when we pass by value, we have first basic data types. So basic data types we always pass by value, you cannot do pass by reference. And in derived data type, that is integer, string, class, interface, it is always passed by reference. Pass by value we have to do manually if you want. And okay, I'll tell again, basic data in Java, the basic data types, integer, character, float, they are not passed by reference, always passed by value. If you want to do pass by reference, you have to do manually, that is default always passed by value, basic data type. And the syntax is the same, the format is the same, how the value pass from one function to the another, format is the same, only the name of the variable is sufficient. System itself decide, the Java engine itself decide whether to pass by value or pass by reference. When it will do pass by value, when you pass a basic data type, integer, character, float, so it gives it only the value to the function by default, action is the default. And when you pass a derived data type, that is the array, string, class, interface, then by default Java does pass by reference. The pointer, that is not pointed, but the address of the location is shared. The address of the address of this particular array is shared, or if it is a class, the address is shared. So that is the default, and if you want to prohibit that, if you want to stop that, then manually you have to do. So that is because this and the writing format is the same, that is only the name of the variable is there to only the name of the variable is sufficient to pass the value, means to pass the data, whether it is the pass by value or whether it is the pass by reference. It is based upon what data type it is declared. For a pass by value, it is default is the basic data types always pass by value, and derived data type, string, array, class, this interface, always it is passed by reference. And if you want to do pass by value, then manually you have to do it. Now here pass by value, and in the Java pass by reference, there is a new keyword. So when in the formal argument side, formal argument side means the client side means the function definition side, not the function calling side, but the function definition side. In the function definition side, if we write a new keyword, new in int, then what happens, then a new int memory will be created, and then when the array is going to be passed, or when the object is going to be passed, or when the string is going to be passed, then whatever the pointer, or whatever the reference, or whatever the string or object has been default has been transmitted by pointer, will go into a new location in the client side. That means new location into the function definition side, or in the formal argument side. Formal argument and actual argument. Actual argument means the call, when we write the function call, it's actual argument. And formal argument, function definition. So in the function definition, if we use the new keyword in Java to create any object, you use the new keyword. Even if you have seen the program, your program, lab program, array use the new keyword. Array there is used a new keyword. For object, it is used as a new keyword. So in this particular scenario, there is no new keyword is used, so no new integer has been created. Whatever integer was created here, that has been accepted here. So our tendency is that in Java, the data type no need to use the new keyword. So data type no need to use the new keyword. You can create any number of data type, but the string, you see, always we write new string, array new int array, class new class. So the new keyword is required, and wherever the new keyword is required, once you use the new keyword to create something, एक ऑब्जेक्ट बनाने के लिए अगर न्यू कीवर्ड यूज़ किया है, सो जब उसको तुम पास करोगे, व्हेन यू गिव दैट डाटा टू सम different person, if the receiving side is not doing the new keyword, that means whatever created, that is going to be pass around, वो original वाला ही pass होते रहेगा. But when you create something with a new keyword, when you create a class, when you create an object variable, when you create an array, string, we do new keyword in Java. So when we give this variable to a new function, to a function definition. So a function definition have formal argument. So that formal argument, if new is not mentioned, then whatever is created, that is going to be given to the function definition, and if any modification will be performed, then that modification will be reflected in the server side also. Server side means in the function main function side also. Main function side means in the user side also. Then that means your function call, that means whatever variable you have created and given as the function call. And the function definition is, suppose a different person who is using your data. Your data means your array, your string, your class, your interface. You create some class, you create some interface, create some array using the new keyword, and you give the name to everything. My student, my array, my class, first program, PPL lab, like OOP lab, like that. You give some name. And when you give this name, share this with a function definition. Function definition means a client program, or a separate new user, or different program, something that is outside your program, your function, your access point, something that is outside it. So when we are passing something outside it, if that particular site is not using the new with the formal argument, that whatever you created is being remain the same, and any modification in the function definition side will be reflected in the your side also. That means that is the function reference, pass by reference. If we want to prohibit pass by reference, then in the function definition side, a new keyword has to be included as a must. So when any object is passed, that is going to be put into a new memory location, new, not the same. new. So that is the new keyword. So your data that will be remain the safe. Your data means will be remain the safe, and the function definition side, whatever data has been accepted, that whatever modify he can modify. And if you want to really share the exact array, if you want to share the pointer, then no need to write the new keyword in the function definition side. When we create a function data, that is the when we create a Java data, we generally write the new keyword, whether it's an array or string or class object or interface. We generally use the new keyword. It is a practice. If we follow it is better. So when we use the new keyword, so it is new for me. When I again use a new keyword, I again get a new array, new memory location. When I again use a new keyword, I get a new memory location. When I pass this memory location to some different function, if the function definition again uses the new function formal parameter to accept, when I send something, receiving, when it is going to a function definition, if the function definition has mentioned that he want a new memory location, so definitely my data is going to be saved. So that function definition, when you will write the function definition, you make sure you add the new keyword, then the object that is going to be passed will be given to that particular new variable, and whatever modification is performed, it will be cancelled. So it will be now mostly like a pass by value only when we use a new keyword in the function definition side. So because object references, object user defined data, that is the derived data in Java, is created using the new keyword by default. Class, we have to write the new keyword. So that is why when only we use mention the new keyword, then only Java changes from pass by reference to pass by value. That means whenever we use the new keyword, then Java gets the information that, oh yes, some new memories want to be created. Otherwise, whenever we pass the array or the string or the class object, whatever the function definition modify, it reflected in the original variable also. And the basic data type that is created in Java, without new keyword it is created. So when we pass the value in the Java, it is default, it is the only the value is only passed, the address is not passed, because new keyword is not used. New keyword is not required, is not used. So whenever you want to do by pass by reference, then again the opposite, you have to use the new keyword with the basic data types also. Then the Java will know that, okay, when the next time new keyword has to appear, then only I will create a new variable. Otherwise, if any value is passed, I will use the same value to update. So new keyword is the identifier that Java have to identify when to create a new memory location. When we have for variable, by default it is passed by value, and for other object, array, string, class, interface, always it is passed by reference only by default. Because generally in the function definition side, generally we don't write the new keyword. We allow the function to do pass by reference, but when you want to stop it, when you want to prohibit it, in the function definition side, you add the new keyword, then Java will create a new space for the array and the string, what the data object is coming. So, and any modification in the function definition side will not affect the original values. So that is the difference between the function pass by reference and of Java and other programming construct. Okay, so next class we'll see generic data type. Next class, generic data type.